We're looking at Paul's letter to the church at Colossae. This is how it starts. Paulos Apostolos Christou Iesu. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ. I wonder what you think about when you think about yourself and how you are identified. Who you are. What is your function in the world? I wonder if you think about the things that give you credibility, the things that give you purpose, the things that express your destiny. Why are you here? Those things were very clear for Paul. They were radiantly clear. And they all stem back to one day when he was pressing the case against Christians to the point of persecuting them, to the point of seeing them killed, and God spoke to him. And he sort of knocked him off his high horse. He lies on the ground, he's blinded with the light of a new revelation. And he says, "Who are you, Lord?" And the answer comes, and people around him don't hear the answer, but he does, and he knows, and it transforms his life. And he says, "I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting." Now that was a complete turnaround for Paul. He was seeking the Lord with the whole of his life, but he just had the wrong name. He was seeking the Lord. Every day he was spending in the rabbinical schools. Every day he was searching the scriptures. His knowledge was brilliant. He was a great young student. He was top of the class. He was doing really, really well. He had a distinguished career as a Jewish theologian all ahead of him. And he met Jesus. And then all of a sudden, everything was turned around. So this, the first bit of the letter to the Colossians, became his identity, his function, his life, his destiny. He said, Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ. And of course, Christ wasn't a surname. Christ was a descriptor. It means the Messiah. Ho Christos, the Messiah, the rescuer of Israel. And so it wasn't so much that Paul was slipping religions. Oh, I've had it with being a Jew, I'm going to be a Christian now. No, it wasn't that at all. He saw that the main point of Judaism was right here. It wasn't that he was just, that Judaism was a tree and he was branching off in another direction. No, he saw this as the main part of the main branch, the main stem going up. It started with the Ten Commandments and the revelation to Israel. It started with the 12 tribes and the law and the priesthood. It started with the wisdom of the wise men and the prophecy of the prophets. And all those things formed tributaries into one thing. And the prophets taught about Jesus. Surely he has borne our griefs. And the priests taught about sacrifice. And he was the great high priest. And the prophets gave messages about God, and he was the message. And all those things came together into one dynamic reality in Jesus. Jesus the Messiah. And so when Paul said, Paul, an apostle of Jesus the Messiah, he is making a claim. He's making a claim that the whole of the Old Testament reaches its apex, reaches its meaning, reaches its denouement. How we understand what it's all about, reaches its true identity in Jesus. So when he said, "Who are you, Lord?" he's talking to God, and Jesus answers. Shock, horror. Everything has changed. Everything's been flipped around. And so, in a sense, Paul regarded himself as a true Jew. He wasn't touting the laws of Moses. He was promulgating this wonderful, wonderful new news that Jesus was the promised Messiah, that all the pieces of the jigsaw that Judaism had provided were now put into place. And this is why he was so confident when he comes to the church at Colossae and they're saying, well, we could do it this way, we could do it this way, we could add these bits. No, it has to be Jesus. Jesus is centre stage for the world. And we'll look into this in future clips. But here, this is his identity. I wonder what your identity is. You have a surname, and maybe that surname expresses a proud family heritage. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe they're all sheep stealers. It doesn't matter. Your heritage, when you become a believer, is transformed. You become part of the heritage of Paul and of Christ. And this is what he was saying to the Colossians. I am an apostle of Jesus the Messiah. Jesus the Christ. And the word apostle, well, there have been oceans of ink expended on the word. And Paul was an apostle in a particular way. He wasn't one of the original 12 apostles, as you'll know. And it seems that in the New Testament there were two ways of using this word. In the Greek, it can just mean emissary or ambassador. But it seems there's two kind of ways. There's one with a capital A and one with a small a. And with a capital A it says built upon the foundation of the apostles, the 12 apostles. But then there's another way of using it where it can virtually mean missionary or somebody sent with authority. And you decide for yourself which you think Paul regarded himself as. But there is an apostolic calling on the Church of Christ to follow where Paul led. That we are all indeed missionaries and ambassadors for Christ. Well, we'll leave it there for today. May God bless you and put upon your spirit the identity and destiny to which he's calling you. Amen. God bless.